Hi folks, Reverend Crystal Cox here. I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about cancer. I have known people who have cured cancer naturally, and so I get a lot of questions. If you, just a side note, if you look at the Steve Cooksey ruling about the caveman diet, and the ruling that it is a free speech First Amendment right to give advice on alternative medicine, that happened in the last year, and that is a really big deal. Because people that talk about curing themselves of cancer get shut down by the FDA, right? We can't have you doing that. We want to cut people's body parts off, and we want to radiate them, and we want to give them chemo, and we want them to, their insurance to pay big money into the system, and we can't have you telling them that you've cured it by drinking some juice, okay? So the FDA shuts these folks down. So I haven't really talked about it much. I've done some videos, but I've studied alternative medicine for 20 years. I have known a large amount of people who have cured themselves of cancer. I have read about even a large amount more. I've read about a lot of people and a lot of cures, and I believe that cancer has always been curable. I believe the Native Americans had cancer, and they cured it with plants. Okay? It's quite a racket in society. So if one person cured themselves of cancer, then surely you can, right? Alright, so this is kind of just an overview video to give you some keywords and some overall concepts of natural cures for cancer. Because a lot of people think that everything that's out there is a hoax. And also, going alternative is expensive. Because if you, for example, I knew someone that was going to remove one breast and do chemo, and it was going to be just to remove that one breast like $75,000. So, there's big money in Western medicine, and it's paid for by insurance and grants and whatever. And so if you go alternative, you know, you're still going to spend quite a bit of money. Where are you going to get the money? So most people don't. Okay? All right, some of the places to research. Of course, you can Google, you know, natural cancer cures, and you always want to trust your gut. Okay? Because no, everything out there is not necessarily accurate. But boy, the FDA will sure shut you down right away if you start talking about black salve. Okay, cancer salves. The Indians allegedly used cancer salves, all right? I have known several people who have cured themselves of cancer using black salve or a cancer salve, or like pawpaw or bloodroot, or there's quite a few different, they're highly alkaloid plants made into powders. And if one person can cure themselves, why can't you? Okay? All right, so cancer cannot live in an alkaline body. Okay, so you look at Wolf, and you look at the information on oxygen. Okay, oxygen flooding your body kills cancer cells, which is highly alkaline. Okay, sugar feeds cancer. Sugar is acidic. Okay, study things about Renee Case. Okay, she created Essiac tea, which is, you know, the herbs were already there. The Native Americans used them. I forget how you pronounce the the tribe that she got the information from. But these are basically just alkaloids. Okay? Now, Harry Hoxsey, he had a clinic that cured cancer, and he was ran out of the United States. I think he went to Mexico or something. And so you study the Harry Hoxsey books, the Renee Case stuff, and now there's the Budwig, you know, I forget how you pronounce it, but there is just so much stuff out there. The Gershon therapy diet. This woman, she's in her 80s, and people have been cured of cancer by that diet. Hydrogen peroxide intravenously. Google and research some of that. Drinking food-grade hydrogen peroxide. Research that, which gets more oxygen into your body. Cesium, which is a mineral that is 14 pH, because, you know, if you're alkaline, cancer cannot live in an alkaline body. So you get your body alkaline, and allegedly cancer goes away. Okay, it is my opinion, only opinion, that cancer is curable, because I can read. Okay, there's a cure for every disease out there, and it's called reading. Okay? Alright, so, which doesn't mean there's not a place for Western medicine. I'm just saying these are some places to start to research natural cancer cures. Okay, research dendritic cell therapy, which is where they take your own blood and they make a serum. I think some famous boxer did it for a tumor in his head, And I've personally known people that have done it for thyroid issues and for different cancers. And it's actually, yeah, it's blood taken out of your body, and it's made to a serum that is like a cure for your body. Anyway, just research dendritic cell therapy. And let's see, there's just some other toxin things like aqua chi, you know, which is this electric thing where you draw out toxins out of your body through your feet. There's the rice frequency machine. There's like a certain frequency that kills cancer cells. There is just a massive amount of information out there, folks, about natural cancer cures. I cannot believe that as a society we're still allowing people to be radiated and nuked and poisoned and body parts cut out. It just doesn't make any sense to me when this stuff is, you know, can be cured naturally. And then, of course, some of the metaphysical and the healing stuff, like emotional freedom technique and stuff, they say there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of emotional issues that cause cancer, and that we need to release those to release cancer. You know, the power of thoughts. I've read stuff where they've had these kids do these visualization of like Pac-Man eating the cancer cells. You know, and it took down the cancer cells. And so it's very important. Your state of mind, your power of thoughts is very important. And like I said, I personally have known people who have cured cancer naturally. And it is a huge, huge free speech issue for me that people be able to share their story about curing themselves of cancer. It's not right, it's not free or democratic in any way to live in a society where you're not allowed to talk about natural cures. And it certainly is not of God, of Goddess, that you cannot use plants that the Great Spirit gave us to heal ailments that are in our body that's natural. Okay? The proverbial they and the FDA and the government and all these people that are making us free and protecting us, they're kind of going against God, against Goddess, against the Great Spirit, okay? We are naturally getting problems, and there's a natural cure for it, okay? This is how we're made. This is the natural state of things, okay? So to tell us you're protecting us, and we're free and living in a free society, but we have to cut these big chunks out of our body because there's cancer. You know, like a car needs an oil change, so you throw the whole car away. The blood goes through that spot and goes everywhere in your body. So if there's something causing cancer in your body, it's going to still be there creating that cancer, even if you cut out that part and have some part of your body missing. Okay, folks? Study, read, learn, trust your gut, and above all, pray. Ask for signs, ask for clarity. Ask your guides and angels to help you. Ask God, the Great Spirit, to give you signs and clarity and clear messages on what it is that you need to do to heal yourself of cancer, why it is you have cancer, and what it is you can do to make it go away. Goddess bless you all.